not consider white nationalism to be a rising threat, dismissing it as quote unquote a small group of people. He says also, I think my language is very nice, folks. We have great language about this. Great language about white nationalism and bad people. Bad people, folks. I'm sorry for my awful Trump impersonation there. But, yeah, sorry I put you through that. But anyway, that is what is going on here. You got him saying this, and it's inspiring these people to do these things, and that is what is never really going to stop unless Trump turns away from this, which is, if he does, it's going to hurt him politically because he's going to stop going to point out, present an enemy. Because some of the worst political groups, like, they point out enemy, and they make they vilify people as they vilify some of the most vulnerable people as those who are destroying entire societies, and that reaches the way they're crazy, and that's why they act in the way they do. He says, my language is very nice. I love that. It is absolutely insane. And like this is how these things happen. This is how these things are born, and that situation is never going to stop as long as Trump is still making this rhetoric part of the mainstream, and that's what he's done. And I think it's going to be very hard, even after Trump leaves, to get this idea that this anti-immigrant hate, this anti-refugee hate, this anti-Muslim feeling. It's going to be very, very, very rough to look past, I think. And it's certainly a big deal, despite what Neil deGrasse Tyson might think. He tweets out, in the past 48 hours, the U.S. horrifically lost 34 people to mass shootings. On average, across any 48 hours, we also lose 500 to medical errors, 300 to the flu, 250 to suicide, 40 to homicide via handgun. And he says, often our emotions respond more to spectacle than to data, which is what a take. What a take. Wow. That is quite something to, like, that. Talk about missing the point completely. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone more miss the point than that. Because all these things, medical errors to the 300 people to the flu, 250 to suicide, 200 car accidents, 40 to homicide via handgun across any 48 hours on average. So, I mean, again, I wonder how much, the fact that he's probably spent like 30 minutes or whatever researching all the data for that tweet on his computer, like, that's even more disturbing if you really think about it, because it's just not the idea here. These things are so obviously preventable, something that we can totally get, we could take care of, something we can make better. And the fact that we're failing so miserably at that is why people are so mad. That's why people want change so much. It's because it's because that problem is just so easy to present yourself. Like, it's so easy to fix. Just get rid of guns, regulate them in some shape or form to make things better. Like, the problem's obviously in front of you. The problem is there. Cut off the source of the problem. But we can't for some reason, and that's the big problem. I'm using problem too much, aren't I? But anyway, again, like, you can't. Car accidents are going to happen for whatever reason or another. It's not so obviously solvable. Medical errors. People are trying to do their best. There's no malicious. I mean, most of the time, if they're not, they're taken care of. If there's someone who makes a medical error on purpose to kill you, they are taken care of. 40 people across 40 hours to homicide via handgun. Then that's another thing that you can do to limit access to guns in some shape or form. Like, again, amazingly stupid tweet by Neil deGrasse Tyson. All right. That's about all the time we have for today. Sorry the show had to be like this. Hopefully we can have a funner week. Some good news stories to talk about. Hopefully some change comes on this matter, but we will be following this for you very, very closely. Of course, new episode of The Wake Up tomorrow and Friday. Of course, new episode, first ever, hopefully many more to come, episode of Uncultured, our hip-hop show. So thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. It's Newsflash.